And hello. So, I decided that I'm going to do a playthrough for YouTube. I wanted to do I've been wanting to do, like, a Let's Play thing and upload it to YouTube and do more of, like, a YouTube Let's Play. I normally do, like, my playthroughs on Twitch. But I kind of wanted to change my maybe not change my format, but like try another format out. I wanted to try and do a Let's Play of the Sky Trilogy, just the Sky Trilogy, on YouTube and see how well it does. I don't know. It's something I was interested in doing, and I was like, I do want to go back and play Trails in the Sky again. Maybe I'll try it out. So that's what we're doing. I have played this game before, but I've only played it once. I played it from start to finish. I don't plan on doing any, like, self-imposed challenge of, like, making it, like, playing on, like, the super hardest difficulty or anything like that. I'm just gonna go through this, you know, like normal, and we'll see how it goes from there. You know, I'm not too sure on this. I haven't done this for YouTube before, so it's like a different format for me. So, I figure we'll try it. That being said, let's, get right into it, shall we? We're gonna go with the normal difficulty, like I said. And we shall start.
Daddy's really late. I even got a message from the guild saying he'd be home today too. And Cher's gone traveling around the kingdom on some kind of training.
Aw, poor Stell. She's all alone.
I'm so bored. Maybe I'll just practice with my staff a bit more before dinner.
Hey, I'm home.
Daddy!
Aw. Sorry to have kept you waiting, Estelle. Did you take good care of the house while I was away?
Of course I did. Did you run into any trouble, Daddy? You didn't get hurt fighting the bad monsters, did you?
Nope, I'm as fit as a fiddle. That reminds me, though, I brought you a present.
Really? What kind of present? A new fishing pole? Sneakers? Something for my training?
Maybe I raised you wrong, Estelle. Aren't little girls supposed to like clothes and jewelry?
I like pretty clothes, but they just get dirty. And jewelry breaks when you go play outside with it on. Anyway, Daddy, what's with the big blanket? Is that my present?
Oh, you're a sharp one. Now why don't you come have a look? It's the gift of man! What are you doing with this child? Where'd he come from? This is a present to me? What?
What?
Well, here you are. Quite a handsome boy, don't you think?
Dad, aren't I too young for you to be hooking me up? What's going on here? Why is my present a boy?
Don't make such a fuss, or you'll wake him up.
Wake him up? You mean he's still alive? Looks kinda dead if you ask me.
I've treated his wounds, so he should be in stable condition. In the meantime, however, we'll need to let him rest. I'll put him to bed, so if you wouldn't mind heating a kettle of water on the stove, I'd appreciate it.
Okay. He sure sleeps soundly. And he almost looks the same age as me. This is the first time I've ever seen black hair like that, too.
He certainly does have a nice head of hair, doesn't he? And a pair of amber eyes to go with it.
Mm-hmm. That's nice and all, but how about you come clean and fess up?
Fess up? Oh, my dear, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Who is this kid anyway? And why is he hurt? Why did you bring him to our home? Is he an illegitimate child or something? Did you betray Mom?
Where have you been picking up these kind of words? No doubt from Charizard, I assume.
Yep, that's right.
Ah, for heaven's sake! That girl is going to get me in trouble one of these days with all her nonsense. Actually, I just met this boy while I was out on business. And I don't even know his name.
You mean bracer business?
Something like that. Oh, look!
Huh?
He's waking up.
Wow, his eyes really are the color of amber.
Where am I?
So you're awake now, are you? Welcome to my humble home. You'll be safe here, so please, just try to rest.
What are you trying to pull?
Huh?
You must be out of your mind. Why didn't you just leave me out there to die?
Why? Now that's a question I don't know how to answer. Does things just worked out that way work for you?
Don't toy with me, Cassius Bright! Do you have any idea what you're getting yourself involved in?
Hey! Shut up! What are you doing? How dare you yell at him? You sure shouting a lot for someone who's supposed to be hurt. Running your mouth like that is just gonna make it take longer for your body to heal.
And just who are you supposed to be?
I'm Estelle. Estelle Bright.
She's my daughter. Don't you remember me telling you that I have a daughter your age?
Now that you mention it. Wait a minute. Don't try and change this up. Ow!
Quit yelling!
Alright. Already. But you jumping on me like that isn't going to make me heal any faster either.
I don't hear you yelling again, do I?
Look, jumping on me like that is just going to make things worse.
Do I hear yelling?
Never mind. Just forget it.
As a word of advice, it would be wise not to argue with Estelle while you're in this house. Even I wouldn't stand a chance if I made her mad enough.
Yeah, I can see that.
By the way, aren't you forgetting something?
Huh?
Your name. You know, that thing that people call you. I told you mine already, so don't you think it would be unfair and impolite not to tell me yours?
It seems like a logical thing to do if you ask me. Trying to hide it now would only serve to your detriment.
Fine. My name is... You gotta love how they just fade out without him actually telling her his name. They're just like, a name? What's that? We're just gonna show you the intro now! Hey look, a harmonica! This is how you do things! Honestly, I do love the music in this game, which is one of the reasons why I really wanted to, like, come back to this game and actually just play through it. Because it's just like, I love I love listening to the music. It's always just so sometimes it's just really like soothing and like somber, and you're just like relaxing and chilling and just like, oh man, like you could just sit there and listen to it. And sometimes it's just really good. But the other thing is that like I also really enjoy I personally love like sprite work, like all like the sprite arts and everything. So like when it comes to like games that use like sprites for like for characters and like the world and everything, like I tend to really enjoy those games a lot, and this is honestly one of them. But also when it comes to the Legend of Hero games, I have played through like all the games. I've played, well, all of them up to Reverie. I'm currently actually streaming Reverie on Twitch. I don't know if by the time this goes out that I'll still be streaming it, but I'm in the post game of it right now. And out of all the Legend of Hero games, the Sky games are probably one of the ones that I enjoyed the most. Sky 1, 2, and 3 are like my favorites. I've also been enjoying Reverie quite a bit. It's become one of my favorites as well, along with Cold Steel 2. I know, like controversial, right? Man likes Trials of Cold Steel 2 of all of them. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed my time in the Sky game and in the Sky games, and I've only played them once. So I was like, you know what? Let me give them another look over. Let me play through them again. Just to like, I don't know, just to have fun, you know? I mean, Daybreak is coming out soon. I do plan on playing that one on stream as well. Like I plan on streaming that one over on Twitch. I'm looking forward to that one. I don't know how to I don't know how to express why I'm looking forward to it. It's more of just like it kind of feels like you're starting fresh in Daybreak, because like it's kind of like when you start fresh in like the new arc of the games, right? Like when you played Cold Steel 1, you're starting fresh. Then you get into Cold Steel 2, and you're kind of like midway through, and you're like those two games, and then like you get into like Cold Steel 3, and it's like no longer has like that fresh, like starting fresh feeling. It's now like, well, now you're continuing, and you're like your characters are well established and everything, and it doesn't have that feeling. I don't know how else to express that. But like that's the thing with Daybreak. It has that feeling of starting fresh that I'm like looking forward to.
It's so bright in here. Man, I slept like a rock. That must mean it's Dad's turn to cook this morning. I wonder if that means Joshua's still in bed. Guess that's a no. Well, I guess I'd better get myself ready then, too. Nice, Joshua! Bravo!
Good morning, Estelle. I hope I didn't wake you.
Nah, I was already up when I heard you start to play. I can't believe how awake you are. Even the roosters still have bags under their eyes. Not that I mind. What with the siren song of yours, gently lulling this beautiful woman from her slumber?
What do you mean, woman? We're the same age, and I'm hardly a man.
Tis, tis, tis. How wrong you are, Joshua. We may be the same age, but I am clearly the woman of the house. Clearly. And that makes you something like my loyal follower. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. How fortunate for you.
You could at least try and sound a tiny bit sincere. It really is a nice tune, though. Cheerful, yet somehow wistful. I like your other songs too, of course, but this one's my favorite. What's it called again?
The Whereabouts of Light.
That's right, The Whereabouts of Light. I wish I could play the harmonica like you, Joshua. Sadly, it's a lot harder than it looks.
Compared to what it takes to use a staff, I think the harmonica is much easier. It's really just a matter of concentration.
You're probably right. I guess my problem is just that if I don't do something that uses my whole body, I start to feel drowsy. Okay, playing the harmonica is fine and all, but how about getting some exercise too? All your hobbies are sitting around kind of stuff like reading and music. No girl's gonna be impressed with just that.
Well, excuse me for being so unpopular with the ladies. Although, I feel like I should be the one lecturing you about your hobbies. I mean, what kind of boy wants a girl who loves fishing, collecting bugs, and has a fetish for sports shoes?
That's enough talk about hobbies for now. Yeah. And for your information, I graduated from bug collecting a long time ago. Thank you very much.
Really? I'll believe that when I stop finding beetles in the hallway.
Hey! Estelle! And Joshua!
Morning, Dad.
Good morning, Dad. Is breakfast ready?
It's ready and waiting. Why don't the both of you hurry on down before it gets cold?
Okay.
I'm on my way.
Thanks for the grub, Dad. Boy, am I stuffed.
Are you eating or inhaling, Estelle?
Like people say, kids who eat and sleep a lot, grow a lot.
Well, make sure you get enough to eat, but don't forget to pour that energy into your work too. That reminds me, you two are finishing up your training at the guild today, aren't you?
That's right. It'll be a review of everything we learned up to this point.
And once we're finished, we'll be braces, just like you, Dad. That means I'm not gonna let you treat me like a kid anymore, either.
You still lack understanding, Estelle. You can only become a junior bracer in the beginning, or in other words, a trainee. If you want to be treated like an adult, then you should work extra hard in your training to become a full-fledged bracer.
Well, I'm not afraid of a little hard work. Just you watch and see what I'm capable of, Dad. I'll be so successful that it won't be long before I pass you too.
That's the spirit. Let's see what you're made of then, shall we?
Let's not start a rivalry here, you two. And Estelle, keep your focus on the task at hand. We have a test later on today, remember?
Huh? Wait. What test?
Please tell me that you didn't forget about the test, Estelle. You know, the one that checks whether or not we've mastered the skills we've been learning in training. Don't you remember Shara saying that if we failed, we'd be stuck with a ton of extra homework?
Crap. I totally forgot. Now that you mention it, I guess I kinda remember her saying something like that. Don't sweat it. I'm sure we'll manage somehow or other.
I honestly don't know how you survived this long, Estelle. Your brain is like a sieve. A sieve. Ugh.
Papa is sad. How could any child of mine end up with such a careless, over-optimistic personality?
Ha! You're the one that raised me, so I definitely got it from you.
I swear the two of you act so much alike. But whatever. We should probably head over to the guild soon, Estelle. Shara's going to be waiting there for us.
Sounds like a plan. You know how crazy scary she gets when someone keeps her waiting. Oh, before I forget, it's my turn to cook dinner tonight. Is there anything in particular you'd like to eat, Dad? Any requests?
How about just, like, food? Like, just don't burn the house down and make, like, actual food, please. Something I'd like to eat, huh? How about Rouen-style scalloped fish in a balsamic vinegar sauce?
What's that? I said food, not made up mumbo jumbo.
I think that's a little more than Estelle's cooking skills can handle. Or our stomachs, for that matter.
You're right. I just wanted to see what kind of reaction I could get. I'll just have the usual fried fish and omelet. No need for anything fancy, but do try to make something edible.
Oh, he actually made that comment.
How rude. But I can't actually say he's wrong.
Actually, I do have one favor to ask before you head out. I'd like you to pick me up a copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods store. They're supposed to be getting the latest edition today.
Got it. One copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods store, coming right up.
If there's any money left over, you can have it as your allowance. However, that means no wasteful spending.
Alright. Thanks, Dad.
Okay, we're heading out now. See you later, Dad.
Work hard and give Scheherazade my regards.
Oh shit, dude. Okay, wait a second. Like I said, it's been a while since I played. I just want to make sure I don't miss any treasure chests. I know there's... Oh wait, I can freely rotate the camera. I did set that. So I am playing the PC version, by the way, in case you guys didn't realize that. So they didn't... In the configuration, it has it where you can freely rotate the camera. That's just to rest in bed. I don't see anything prompting for treasure. Treasure with... Oh wait, no, I can't open that. You can rest in that bed too. Treasure, where you at? No treasure here? No treasure here. Alright. Alright, so... Is there like a way to like... I don't remember if there's a way to... There we go. Okay. How do I... Okay, so it's select and triangle. Got it. I'm so used to like how the buttons are in Reverie, where it's like I press down to open up the big map. You'll probably see me open up the map a lot. I tend to do that when I'm trying to like figure out where I'm going. Or just to see where I'm going, like see everything. So down there is Garoon Gate, and then to the right is Roland. Wait, were we supposed to go to Roland or probably to Roland? Although I do want to see if there's anything. Oh, I can't actually. Damn. Never mind. I wanted to see if we can go to Garoon Gate and try to get treasure, but I guess not. Do, 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 do. It looks like we made good time. Not too early, or too late either.
We just barely graduated from Sunday school. I never dreamed we'd have to study so hard to become racers.
Well, you're in luck. Today is our last day of training. Truth be told, though, you're the one who signed up to be a bracer in the first place, so I don't know why you'd expect to get away with any less effort.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I did. then. Let's get to it and make it through this last hazing from Shara.
You look ready to me. Let's go meet with Shara at the Bracer Guild over there, then. Alright, but first we need to actually get the liberal news for Dad. For dear old Dad. I have no clue which one of these is which. This one's the Bracer Guild. That one I know. This is the general store, so...
Good morning, Mr. Rinnan.
I pressed that way too fast. Oh, whoops. Rinnan, I think his name is.
Hello there, Estelle and Joshua. You're up rather early tonight. Did you come to buy a new pair of shoes?
Now that you mention it, are there any new ones in stock? You know, like the newest Stregas?
Unbelievable. You've actually already forgotten why we came in here to begin with. We're not here to shop. We're supposed to be buying a copy of the liberal news for Dad, right?
Ha 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 ha! Of course! Of course! I'd never forget that.
You've always been a big collector of those shoes, haven't you, Estelle? I'm afraid the new Stragers aren't out yet. If you're after the latest issue of the Liberal News, though, I should have them in around noon.
Noon, huh? That's right in the middle of our training at the guild house.
We'll stop by again after our training is over.
Sure, I'll be waiting for you.
I'll try to keep that voice in mind. That was a spur of the moment voice, and I don't know if I'll be able to do it again, but I will try.
There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua.
Morning, Ina.
Good morning.
Is Shara here already?
Yes, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as members of the Bracer Guild. Good luck to the both of you.
Thanks.
We'll do our best.
The Star and the Hanged Man. The Hermit and the Magician. And last of all, Inversion through the Wheel of Fortune. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this?
Good morning, Shara.
Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua. And this is a rare occasion for the both of you to show up so early.
Since it's my last day of training, I figured, why not? I'm ready to get this show on the road and become a bracer myself.
I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm. But I'm going to work you hard today in every way I can. In every way I can think of to make sure the high-spirited attitude of yours holds up.
Whoops. Sorry. I started to read that and then I started to cut off and I was like, oh wait, there's more to that sentence.
I hope you're ready.
I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already. And it's gone. Bye-bye, enthusiasm.
Quiet, you! Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head instead of letting it dribble out your ears like it usually does.
Joshua! Shara's picking on me!
Don't worry, Shara. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, acts rashly, is overly naive, and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything. Her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up on how to use an orbit with some practice eventually. Probably. Maybe. At some point.
I guess there's not much I can do now except hope for the best.
Hold on a sec. Joshua? Somehow, I get the feeling you weren't standing up for me.
Well, that's odd. I'm positive I described all your best traits accurately.
Whatever. By the way, Shara, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intent.
Oh, this! I was just trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly.
You couldn't read the cards?
Now, that's surprising to hear.
Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we covered in your previous training. This is the minimal level of knowledge that baristas should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
What would you like to know about?
I mean, is there a none? Like, can I click none? About orbments.
Orbments are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbital energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and the type of quartz or processed septum installed. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all the facets of life, from lights, heaters, and other everyday products to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection to this technological reform...
Wait, oh my god. I changed the wording there by accident.
In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbital Revolution.
Why is my mouse like... Okay, well, never mind. I don't know. Wait, why was it showing up there? That is so weird. Okay, whatever. That's all.
Let's see. Since we got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training.
Cheryl? How is today's practical training any different from the training we've done before?
Since it's practical, that means you will be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have the both of you run through everything, as if this were a real bracer job.
So, what you're saying is, there won't be any studying at a desk involved?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time, you'll have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure to have you work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready.
Yes! That's seriously just what the doctor ordered. I didn't know what I was going to do if I had to sit another day with my tush parked at a desk. I guess I got all worried for nothing.
Well, suddenly you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Haha, bright and cheerful? Bright? Estelle bright? Ha!
Let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we?
Let's have at it.
Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you will be performing. But before that, there is something we need to give the both of you. Ina, are they ready?
Yes, they are.
Alright, you two, go get one for each of yourselves.
These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. Bracer notebook. Oh, I thought we were getting the orbments. Okay.
Bracer notebooks serve as the official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you may hear or anything that you may find and where. These kind of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down.
Understood.
Crap. This sounds like it's going to be a pain.
Oh! Please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response.
I'm sure there were two.
Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers. So get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle.
Okay, I got it.
Make sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over by the door. You can see that there's a bulletin board standing there. First, I want you to go and check the job description posted there.
When the bulletin board is approached, an exclamation mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display the job list. By selecting the job name on the list, you can view their details. The training will involve searching the sewers beneath Roland and bringing back the contents of a chest. See Sherazade for details. Details of the job confirmed on the bulletin board and other important events will be automatically recorded in the Bracer Notebook. The Bracer Notebook can be easily found by clicking on the Books tab of the item menu. It can also be accessed by configuring a Bracer Books shortcut button on the configuration menu. Excuse me. So, with the, when it comes to the bulletin board, there's going to be like short-term and long-term. And if I remember correctly, the short-term ones are basically stuff you need to do before you get to, like, before you progress the story. So, like, we're probably going to see points, or we should be seeing points where I'm going to get, like, a bunch of, like, short-term stuff that I'm gonna do first before I do anything else. Or before I do, like, the main story, because otherwise we miss out. I'm going to try to stay up, like, I'm going to try to get, like, all the Bracer quests done. I kind of want to try to get like not everything, but like majority of the stuff in the game. I'm not gonna do. I don't remember if it was this game. I know in Cold Steel there was the thing of like analyzing like every enemy and you get points for that. I don't do that. I'm more casual on that side, but I do want to try to get like all the items I can.
Very good. It looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions a bracer performs on their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for bracers.
Man, all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style.
Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a bracer calls for much more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude, Estelle.
I guess you're right. I'll just have to be more motivated.
Is that so?
The typo! Why is there an H there? It's funny. You know it's a typo because both the H and the I are capitalized. Oh man, that's fucking hilarious.
Had a change of heart, have you?
You betcha.
Well, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task.
What will we be doing this time?
We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital Factory and learning about how to use its services. He has graciously taken out time.
Ugh. I'm reading it wrong.
He has graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior.
Okay.
Here is where you will learn how to use an Orbital Factory's services. At an Orbital Factory, you can modify your orbits and synthesize support cords in order to use orbital arts. Arts have a wide range of effects, and if mastered, can be extremely helpful.
So arts are basically like this game's magic, or this franchise's magic. So you have arts, and then you have like crafts. Crafts are like your skill attacks, and orbital arts are your magic attack. From what I remember, Estelle and Joshua are not art-heavy characters. They're both physical attackers. Estelle uses a staff, and Joshua uses dual short swords. When I first saw Joshua's weapons, I thought they were supposed to be daggers and they were just enlarged because sprites, but I'm pretty sure they're actually just dual short swords. But yeah, so we're not gonna have, for right now, we're not gonna have any like magic attackers because we're gonna have Joshua and Estelle. They can use magic, like you can assign magic to them, but it's gonna be kind of weak. So I mean, to be fair, the enemies are weak at the moment anyway, so it's kind of a win-win or whatever.
The bracer business is a pretty risky occupation. So the guild has had a long-standing relationship with these Orbital factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here.
No problem. Leave everything to me. So, what is it that you would like to know about?
I mean, I know this game handles quartz and orbments differently. In the later games, if you want like a certain spell, you literally just take that spell and art. Sorry, you literally just take the quartz that has that art, and you just put it on the orbment. In here, it's more of like having enough of a certain elemental value before you end up with that art. I think they'll explain it if I click Orbital Arts.
Simply put, Orbital Arts are magic which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle orbments. In other words, a number of peculiar effects that can be produced by using the orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since Orbital Arts can be a mouthful, they are almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have been called that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding quartz must first be synthesized at an orbital factory.
I think the reason why arts are referred to as orbital arts is because they're put into an orbment, which is so like the quartz is put into like the orbment, and that generates the orbment generates the arts that you're using. So they're called orbital arts because it's not generated from like the person themselves. Like for instance, like if Estelle doesn't have the orbment on her, then she can't use arts. So her having the orbment on her means that she's using orbital arts. So I think that's why it was called that instead of just being referred to as arts, because I think there are characters, I'm pretty sure, maybe I could be wrong on this, I'm pretty sure there are characters that can use arts without having an orbment. I could be wrong on that, but that's I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I don't know.
Orbments are also set up so that once a particular quartz is installed into a slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. The type of arts one can use also changes depending on the elemental value and the combination of installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use water arts, all you have to do is install quartz with a water elemental value. In reality, orbments are much more complex than what I have described, but I think this information should suffice for now. So, what is it that you would like to know about?
That's all I really need to.
It looks like Mr. Melders has answered all your questions. If there's nothing else then, let's have you both try and use the services here. For that, you're going to need some sepet.
Receive several of each type of elemental sepet.
With that amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now I want you to begin by first making elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular orbments. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay. But for you, Joshua, it has to be time elemental quartz. Normally at a shop you would be able to exchange Sepet for Mira, but for this training, you will not be able to use this service.
In the later games, they make it so that you don't have to use elemental Sepet to exchange for money. Instead, you get what's called a Sepet Mass, and the Sepet Mass is it doesn't have an element to it, so you can't exchange it for quartz. Instead, you just exchange it for money. Okay, so oh, I gotta talk to this one. Modify and trade. Okay, so quartz. For Estelle, oh man, it's attack is nice, but defense is also good. I'm gonna go with attack, and then for Joshua, he has to be time. So the elemental sepets right now are classified in earth, water, fire, wind, and time. There's a few more as there's also space and mirage. I think we'll see those later on. And then we go into our orbments here and give her the attack one and give him the time one. So see, like how now for Joshua, okay, so like when I go to put in the action one, it's like here's clock up and soul blur. So like the action one is giving me where's the, it doesn't say the value there. Okay, it's giving me one time elemental value. So having one time elemental value gives me both the clock up and the soul blur. And same thing for the attack one for Estelle. I got one attack one, fire elemental value, and now I have fire bolt.
Alright, it looks like you were able to synthesize one. Next, I want you to increase the arts you can use. Now install the quartz into your orbment so that you can use both recovery and attack arts.
Wait, recovery? Recovery? I didn't know I had to buy HP one. Wait, why is it not letting me? I mean, these aren't considered recovery. Wait, she wants me to have the HP one as well? You know, that's not cool. Why can't I, like... There we go. I mean, okay. So, I have... The button setup is a little weird.
Alright, it looks like you got both recovery and attack arts set up. If you balance your arts out between each other like you've done here, it should make dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your Bracer notebook contains information about which quartz allows you to use which arts. If you'd like to use more powerful arts, check out the arts and quartz charts in your Bracer notebooks and find something that works for you. Alright, our training here is almost finished. Last of all, I'm going to have one of you open a new slot in your orbment. The more slots you have available to you, the broader range of choices you'll have. Since EP, which is consumed by using arts, can have its max value increased by opening up slots, it would be a good idea to open them all early on. Now I want you to use this sepet and open a slot on each of your orbments. And go ahead and decide which slot you're going to open.
I may need to change my button setup. Okay, so for Estelle, How much does that one cost? Okay, they cost the same. Okay, we're gonna open that. So, right here, you see how it's like this one's highlighted in yellow, and then these two are highlighted in blue. These are like, if I remember correctly, they're basically different lines. I don't fully remember how the lines worked, but it was like you can't have similar courts on the same line. So like if I had say for instance HP 2 here, I can't put I think it's like, no, not HP2. If I have, sorry, it has to be like I think it applies for the status ones. If I had something, well, actually, I don't remember with Sky games, because Sky is different than Reverie. Okay, I'll save that for later, because honestly, I don't remember exactly how it was for the Sky games. I remember how it was, I know how it is for Reverie and the Sky games work very differently in terms of this. So, never mind, I'll hold off on that. We'll figure that out a little later. Or we'll talk about it more later. I can't open for Joshua, I don't have enough. Oh no. Okay, so that's fine. I only need to open one.
This concludes your training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on to what you've both been waiting for. The qualification test!
Pardon? Did you just say test?
You can't honestly tell me that you forgot about the test again, can you? Didn't I just tell you this earlier? Didn't I remind you just this morning?
Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along those lines at the breakfast table.
Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild and humanity. Oh well, no sense in worrying about that now. Let's head over to the test area.
You mean like now? I don't know if I'm ready for...
How about a little less yapping and a little more walking?
Joshua! Help me!
Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help today.
Don't mention it, and good luck with that test of yours.
We'll be rooting for you.
I'm going to remember that! You left me high and dry like this, Joshua!
All your training has finally come down to this. Your qualification test will begin here. I expect to see you both use what you learned up to this point.
Understood. What's wrong, Estelle?
Shara?
What now?
I was kind of wondering, but is there not going to be a paper test or something?
Did Cassius drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read what it said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right?
Yeah, and
even I made you jot down what you read in your Bracer notebooks, unless you forgot that too. I'm pretty sure the job listing mentioned searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells yet?
what a relief! Oh, divine Adios! I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers.
I can't. She's so happy that she gets to go into the sewer. She's not normal.
So what you're really saying is that you thought it was a paper test. No wonder you were acting all crazy back at the Orbital Factory.
I can already feel the nostalgia. All those horrible days stuck in a classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed.
I'm really starting to wonder if we'll even be able to graduate at all.
What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things?
Alright, that's enough jabbering, you two. This is supposed to be a test. So how about the both of you try to look at least a little anxious? Just so you know though, if you do happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I have in store for the both of you.
We'll be fine! Just tell us what you want us to do and let us loose.
Well, if you're so confident, then how about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyway, as you both saw on the bulletin board, this test will be a search conducted in the Roland sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of a chest which has been placed somewhere within that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real, living, breathing monsters down there. So if you get careless and let down your guard, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget.
What's this book for? Why more books? I thought no more books.
It's called a Monster Guide, and it's used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it in here.
Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tide of battle, right?
That's exactly what I'm saying! You really got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua.
That's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shara.
We'll put it to good use.
Alrighty then. Let's get pumped and knock out this test.
Let's. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure to treat it as such. Alright, and with that, we're gonna stop the episode here for the day, you guys. So, I thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to hit like, subscribe, you know, all that jazz. Anyway, have yourselves a good one. Take care. Bye!